Good morning. I'm Suebob Davis, and I'm here to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma, both those of you here and those online. Our musicians today are John Lloyd and Bill Lawson on the trumpet, and our special musical guest, Christina Brewer. Our audiovisual team is Erik Perrohe, Ronald Edens, and Max Ebersole up in the loft. Our practitioners today are Bev Holland and Ona Chambers, holding high watch or consciousness in the back. Thanks to our greeters, Eris and Ty. They are the ones who welcomed you in the front door. And also to the hospitality team. I saw Justin Arbuthnot and Kathy Jarlov down in the kitchen, and thanks to everybody who brought food for the potluck today. Our speaker today is our beloved Reverend Erik Odel, practitioner, and his fabulous shoes. I want to tell you a little bit about the Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma. We are an inclusive, welcoming, and heart-centered community. If you're new today and comfortable raising your hand, please do so that we can welcome you. Let's take a moment to remember who we are and what we believe. The Center for Spiritual Living Tacoma is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. We embody an understanding of oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Our vision is to create a world that works for everyone. We help to empower you to bring your dreams to life. We do this together through practicing meditation and prayer, offering a spiritual home, teaching universal spiritual practices, giving consciously, living in the present moment, engaging in a life of service, and providing a pathway to peace of mind. I have a few announcements. We'll be collecting toys for children for Christmas House now through December 8th. Please bring new unopened toys. Our community Thanksgiving celebration is on November 28th, and it's time to sign up. We have a Thanksgiving dinner in the early afternoon, and last year 28 people came together to cook, eat, and fellowship. Turkey and gravy is provided. We provide everything else. The kitchen opens at 9 and dinner starts at 1. There's a grief workshop next weekend on November 9th from 1 to 5, and Reverend Drew will be bringing someone up to talk about that a little bit later. Practitioners will be in the prayer room at the back after service holding a prayer circle. Please join them if you have a need for prayer. Thank you.
Take a deep breath in, let it out. Arrive in the present moment. Be here now. Give yourself the gift of this time to get centered and connected and in alignment with the greatest good. I just wanted to make a couple of additional quick announcements. Next Sunday, we have a special Meet Your Practitioner Sunday. It's going to be a really fun service, and you're going to get to meet the people that do practitioner work, which might be a new concept to some of you, and you're going to find out what it's all about and what we do together, because it's really phenomenal. So don't miss it. It's going to be really fun. I also want to just announce that Kaylin is our youth center director and teacher downstairs. She's wonderful. If you've not met her, meet her. She's phenomenal, and she does a great job with our kids. You see her periodically, but just to let you know that she's hard at work, and she's doing great things with your younger minds. I wanted to also invite at this time Linda up to the stage to talk about this incredible grief workshop. It has a good Hope for the Holidays title. She's going to tell you all about it because she's one of the facilitators, and she does a great job. So we're lucky to have her. Linda, thank you.
Hello. Good morning. So this Saturday, the 9th, we're starting at 1 o'clock, and we is myself and Cynthia Zink. And some of you know Cynthia. She's a practitioner up at Genesis in Burien. But she's been with us a number of times for education, sometimes on Zoom, sometimes in person. And she's going to do the first portion of the workshop. And that's where the Hope for the Holidays comes in, because hers is specific to loss that has been caused by death. And November, December, January can be really tough times when you're going through grief. So she's also suggested that she could follow up with 3 more sessions if people are interested, later in November, again in December, again in January. So my part is called the suitcase, and it's not specific to loss caused by death. It's loss caused by anything. It's a dramatization. It's a one-person play, if you will. It's literally an overfilled suitcase and how someone goes through the denial, the despair, the disgust, and actually ends up in something more manageable. So there's never really a reference to death in it because the symptoms, the emotions of loss are very similar regardless of what the cause was. After doing this, I've had someone come up to me and say, "That was me in my infertility treatment." Someone said, "That's my nephew in the Walla Walla prison." Lots of people said, "That was my divorce." All kinds of things. It's about loss of health and wealth and opportunity, abilities. So you're asking yourself, why would I come to this? Well, you might recognize that what you've been experiencing is actually common and normal, and no, you aren't going crazy. You might recognize that what you've been doing with your grief, because it's what you've been taught for generations, isn't really working for you anymore, and it's time to try something different. You might come away with much more compassion and understanding and patience with people who are in grief. There might be other things that we won't know until it happens. So anyway, it's this Saturday. It starts at 1, and I hope to see you. Thanks.
Again, come and attend and be kind of amazed at how we process grief, how we let it go out of our bodies and free ourselves from it. So it's wonderful. I also want to invite Sharon to the stage, and she's going to mention about why we have this baby cradle here. And I think there might be someone in the front row who this pertains to. So here we go. Here we go. Come on up, Sharon.
The cradle isn't for me. I have 7 grandkids, but that is not for me. That is for Tiffany. Tiffany's new baby. And I keep calling her Tiffany. I'm so sorry, Infinity. I love your name. Yeah. So, you know, we have a lot of new things going on in our center. We have a lot of new life of energy. And one of the new things that we have is a new baby due at the end of this month. Woo! This is the first time we've had a new baby in about 15 years. So it's time to celebrate. Yay! Infinity is just a lovely person. She's been with her partner for 10 years, and this is their first child. And it's just lovely. And so we want to celebrate with her. And so she's registered on Amazon, and I have her registration things that you can help us celebrate and bless her and give her our love. And gift cards are also acceptable. We've got a start for her, and it's just fun to be able to welcome new life, isn't it? And they were so instrumental in helping us with Joyful Noise last weekend, and I'm just excited. So I'm going to have some of these on the cradle and in the bathrooms, and we'll have it up for 2 weeks. And baby is due November 26th. A little turkey. So I got that from her mom, actually. I'm not calling her that. So Tiffany is able to be with us downstairs. Infinity, oh, I'm so sorry. Infinity, for just a little bit. She has another commitment to her aunt afterwards, so you could meet and greet her. Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. And by the way, Sharon's really good at Wordles, so that's why she can mix the words around a little bit. So thank you, Sharon, for leading the way. I'd also just like to take a second to say, Joyful Noise was off the hook. Woo! I would like Roger and Darlene and Leslie and Cindy and Pete and Sharon all to stand as the A-team that helped put that on. Let's give them a round of applause. I'd also like all the volunteers who showed up to just stand up for a second to get recognized for everything they did. The which one? 33 volunteers. We had 33 volunteers. Yeah. I get a little excited about that. You should know that we raised over $7,000 for our center by doing the event, which is good news. And we had over 230 people come through our doors for this event. So that was really excellent. And the energy could have lifted the roof, right? I'm glad it didn't because we'd have to repair it. But thank God the energy was amazing that night. I mean, we could just feel love pouring out of this building. And that's all thanks to you. So take a second and high five or hug or shake hands with your neighbor around them and tell them thank you for what you bring every day to build a world of love. All right, take a deep breath in again. Notice what you're creating. That's real. That's a reality. That is the reality that we can choose together. That's why we come together to build that reality as one. So thank you for everything everyone has done. Just want to lay something on you. Steven Pinker, a Harvard psychologist and author of The Better Angels of Our Nature, contends and posits through some very solid evidence that our species is living through the least violent time in our history. Now, would you know that by watching the news? Would you guess that was possible in how we're evolving as a human race? Did you know also that in 1964, Barry Goldwater ran against Lyndon Johnson, and there was a very large campaign to intimidate people at the polls called Eagle Eye? So this is not new stuff. We're not in an unprecedented time. We have a chance to rise up and unite our world through what we're building here as one people. You and your voice and your heart matter. And we're not going to let division come between us. We're going to use it as an opportunity to sow and patch together a world of love. And that's real. So don't believe what you hear on the news as the absolute truth, because it's skewed toward the negative on purpose, to catastrophize everything, to keep your eyeballs glued so they can sell advertising. The reality is there are challenges, no doubt about it. And there's tough things we're going to have to work through, but none of it is meant to beat us down. All of it is meant to build us up. And we can not just bounce back, we can bounce forward. No matter what you believe, a world of unity and that consciousness is where from whence we were born. Love, compassion, and unity. Take a deep breath in. Make that a reality today. Make it a reality for whatever occurs, and know that nothing is wrong and everything is divinely ordained for our greatest and highest good. And if I had a mic that wasn't on a cord, I'd be like, boom. Drop that baby. All right, we're going to read some gratitudes, which are in your program. If you want to fill them out, read them. Write them down. I read them out every Sunday. An awesome weekend of a joyful noise. Volunteering really helped me see the center in a different light. My vibrant health, amazing community, and like-minded souls. Gratitude, changing our vibrations, and freedom. Music at CSL. Thank you, Pete, for getting great jazz musicians. Benny and his jazzy music. Having a blast at Joyful Noise, the music, the people, it was transformational. Joyful Noise music at CSL, appreciation of our work. and snuggles with my cat, Coda. Who's a cat person here? All right, who's a dog person here? Cats and dogs can get together. They said so in Ghostbusters. The vibrant, loving community that is CSL and all of our loving people together. Amen. Let's hear some great music from our incomparable Christina Brewer.
It's coming.
Oh, when a difficult day goes by, keeping it together is hard, but that's why you've got to try. You've got to try. And when there's a thundering storm outside, underneath the covers you huddle and hide. Open your eyes, open your eyes. It's the true, it's the true, it's the true kind of love. Yeah, it's the true, it's the true, it's the true kind of love. Yeah, stuck in the middle of fear and shame. Everybody's looking for someone to blame. Like it's a game, like it's a game. And now I am better than win or lose. There's a new direction that I'd like to choose. It's called the truth. It's called the truth. Hey, you, show me that solvable problem. We can get through this. I'll do the hardest part with you. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the true, oh, kind of love. Yeah, yeah, it's the true. It's the true, yeah, yeah. It's the true kind of love. It's the true. It's the true. It's the true kind of love. Ooh, it's the true. True. It's the true kind of love. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Next time you're coming up on stage with me to do that song, I'm letting you know.
Good morning. The truth is what we speak here. I have another one. Another quote that kind of it does ring true for what's happening in our world right now in a different perspective. This is by Scott Aubrey with Spiritual Passages. Election Day is an opportunity for us to affirm the goodness and wholeness of our nation and our communities. Casting a vote that expresses our values and exercises our consciousness is a celebration of spiritual qualities where we, in absolute terms, affirm the beauty, justice, and love that we hold for one another. It's a day of gratitude, light, and answered prayers. I invite you to close your outer eyes with me. And yes, let's just take a deep breath together, knowing that we are together. We are always together in love. And so I'm just going to take us on a little journey here. So as your eyes are closed, just continue to breathe normally. And I know that we all have had wonderful experiences in the last couple weeks with joyful noise and so many other things. A lot of laughter, a lot of kindness, a lot of volunteering. And this is all playing into our truth, because we know that the truth is that God is all there is. That Spirit is all there is. It is what we live in, as, and through. And that is why we can say, I speak the truth. And so I let this go into the universe, into the atmosphere, into all of what's going on in our world, and take another deep breath and recognize that this is the truth of our souls. It is love and joy. And so it is.
Okay. If you guys end up standing up and dancing, I wouldn't blame you at all. I welcome it. It does happen. Yep.
People all keep on learning. Soldiers keep on warring. World keep on turning. 'Cause you know it won't be long. Powers keep on lying, while your people are dying. World keep on turning, 'cause you know it won't be too long. Try it again, 'cause my last time I learned I lived the whole in sin. I'm so glad that I know more than I know then. Gotta keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. Hey, teachers keep on teaching. Preachers keep on preaching. World, keep on turning, 'cause I know it won't be too long. Let me try it again. It's the last time I learned I lived the whole sin. I'm so glad that I know more than I know then. Gotta keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. Good, lover eyes, keep on loving, yeah. Believers, keep on believing. Sleepers, just start sleeping. You know we won't be too long. You know we won't be too long. Yeah, higher ground, higher ground. Gonna reach my higher ground. Yeah, woo, yeah, yeah, woo, yeah, yeah.
say one quick thing. One quick thing, Erik. That was amazing. That was phenomenal. And did you know that the year that Simon and Garfunkel won the Grammy Award, the first thing they said was they got up and thanked Stevie Wonder for not putting out an album that year. It was amazing. Thank you. Bless you. And now, without further ado, Erik Odel is a force of nature. He is a long-standing, wonderful minister, leader, speaker, friend, colleague. And just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flowing of Spirit through him and his amazing voice. Erik Odel, welcome.
Thank you, Dom. I was just sitting there and I was thinking, aren't you grateful that you're alive at the time that Stevie Wonder is alive? There's music, there's composers, and then there's people who preach in song. And that was a sermon right there. So thank you, Christina, that was heaven. So my talk title is Life is a Banquet, and it comes from the 1958 movie Anti-Mame. And the whole line is, life is a banquet and most poor suckers are starving to death. So we're going to be talking about that. And for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, it was written by Patrick Denny, and it's based on his real life aunt, who was one of those people who was really full of life. And if you've not seen the movie, it stars Rosalind Russell. It's fantastic. It's really funny. It's really entertaining, and it has a lot of great things to say about a lot of things. Okay, so life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death. So I'm going to also read from, there's this New Thought ancestor of ours, and his name is Joel Goldsmith. And I couldn't relate to Joel Goldsmith. For a long time, I was like, it's too old-fashioned. I don't know what's going on with him. I couldn't relate to him. And then all of a sudden, I turned 69, and I'm like, oh, Joel Goldsmith is a genius. And I'm reading a Joel Goldsmith book as part of my morning daily practice. And this is a quote of his. It's from his book, Our Spiritual Resources. And he says, throughout Scripture, we find proof that good flows out from our being. It does not flow to our being. Many people are living miserable lives because they are sitting around waiting for love to come to them. Others are waiting for friendship to come to them. And still others are waiting for justice and mercy. They wait and wait. They beg and they plead. They even pray, but it does not come. And it never can come. There is only one way in which love, abundance, mercy, justice, and goodness can be demonstrated, and that is to express them, to let them out, to cast our bread upon the waters. This phrase, cast your bread upon the waters, comes from the Jewish book of Ecclesiastes, and the whole line is, cast your bread upon the waters, for it shall return to you after many days. Or as we would say in New Thought, in perfect timing and order. So I have a story about that. Okay, I'm going to tell the story, and then I'm going to do something else. Okay. One stormy night, many years ago, an elderly man and his wife entered the lobby of a small hotel in Philadelphia. Trying to get out of the rain, the couple approached the front desk and hoped to get some shelter for the night. Could you possibly get us a room here? The husband asked. The clerk, a friendly man with a winning smile, looked at the couple and explained that there were 3 conventions going on in town. All of our rooms are taken, the clerk said, but I can't send a nice couple like you out in the rain at 1 o'clock in the morning. Would you perhaps be willing to sleep in my room? It's not exactly a suite, but it will be good enough to make you folks comfortable for the night. When the couple declined, the young man pressed on. Don't worry about me. I'll make out just fine. So the couple agreed, and as he paid his bill the next morning, the elderly man said to the clerk, you are the kind of manager who should be the boss of one of the best hotels in the United States. Maybe someday I'll build one for you. The clerk looked at the couple and smiled. The 3 of them had a good laugh. As they drove away, the elderly couple agreed that the helpful clerk was indeed exceptional, as finding people who are both friendly and helpful isn't easy. 2 years passed. The clerk had almost forgotten the incident when he received a letter from the old man. It recalled that stormy night and enclosed a round-trip ticket to New York asking the young man to pay them a visit. The old man met him in New York and led him to the corner, and then he pointed to a great new building, a palace of reddish stone with turrets and watchtowers thrusting up to the sky. That, said the older man, is the hotel I have just built for you to manage. You must be joking, the young man said. I can assure you that I am not, the older man said, a sly smile playing around his mouth. The old man's name was William Waldorf Astoria, and the magnificent structure was the original Waldorf Astoria Hotel, and the young clerk became its first manager, and he was George C. Bolt. Karma is perfect and unfolds in perfect timing and order. That's the point of the story. Whatever greater good you are dreaming of, that you are wishing for, that you are hoping for, that you are dreaming of, that the higher self within you has inspired you to want, it is coming in perfect timing and order. Take a deep breath, because it is within you. If it wasn't within you already, you wouldn't possibly receive it, but because it's in you, it is coming to you. If you don't understand Finnish, when somebody speaks Finnish, what's going to happen? You're going to get nothing, right? You have to have it within you. And the good news today is peace is within you, love is within you, prosperity is within you, joy is within you, intelligence is within you, health is within you, friendship is within you, companionship is within you. True joy in living is within you already. If it wasn't there already, you would have no hope. We live in a time when technology has trained us to expect instantaneous results. And that means we have become very impatient. Impatience may be one of the worst side effects of all this marvelous convenience that we now enjoy. A letter once took months to arrive. Now emails pop up in seconds. And if they don't pop up in seconds, you freak out. You know you do. A new bullet train in Shanghai, China goes 286 miles an hour. And one is slated to open in 2025 that will go up to 387 miles an hour. You're sitting on a train going 387 miles an hour, which is a wonderful thing. And whatever is outside that train is going to be a colorful blur. We live in the 24-hour news cycle. When they take your temperature at the clinic, it's just a wand that passes over your forehead. The idea of putting a thermometer under your tongue and waiting for the result just sounds so quaint and old-fashioned. How long does electricity take to get from a solar panel to a power station? Almost as fast as the speed of light. In the early 1800s, it would take over a month for the result of the presidential election to be determined. Over a month. Which brings me to the upcoming election. We're having an election, have you heard? And lucky for you, I know exactly how it's going to turn out. Would you like to know how it's going to turn out? Would you like to know how the election's going to turn out? In the coming days, about a half of the country is going to be elated, ecstatic, relieved, delighted, and looking forward to the future. Happy for them. And most of the rest of the country is going to be angry, depressed, outraged, suspicious, fearful, and discouraged about the future. That is exactly what is going to happen. Amen? Amen. Am I telling the truth? Yes. And there will be a sliver of the population who couldn't care less and will not pay the election the slightest bit of attention. Children, people in retirement homes, someone living in American Samoa in the middle of the Pacific, somebody in a small village in Alaska. The election could not be further from their reality, and they couldn't care less. And I want to remind you of that because for those of us who are obsessed and are following the news continually every day and can't wait for the other shoe to drop, amen? What a dramatic, exhausting year it has been as far as politics. Don't leave me alone up here. I'm telling the truth, right? Isn't it comforting to know that there are some people for whom they couldn't care less? I love that. Okay. This circumstance, the election, this highly dramatic and contentious election, which is also just another menu item on the banquet of life. This circumstance begs the question, what is our opportunity here as people walking a spiritual path? Because everything is an opportunity. What would Ernest Holmes say about the moment that we are in? We must think peace if we wish to express peace. Let me say that again. We must think peace if we're to express peace. The mind that is always confused and distraught is not at peace. The mind that is continually upset and agitated by the circumstances of life cannot be at peace. It is at war with itself. And it's only when the individual mind ceases combating itself that it will stop combating others. I hosted a potluck yesterday afternoon, and my friend Judith was there, and the subject of the election came up, and she said, I'm watching MSNBC every day. She could just as easily have been saying another news outlet. And she said, it just makes me, distraught, because it's this constant fear-mongering, because they want to keep your attention. You spoke to this already. We do not know when back to Ernest Holmes, we do not know when that far-off divine event will transpire, which shall heal the world of the wounds of war and the memories of ancient strife and the anticipation of future struggle. All we know as individuals is that it is within our power to control our own thinking. So to order our own mind and thought, that we as individuals shall be surrounded by peace. And that's from the Essential Ernest Holmes, page 172. Blessed are the peacemakers. Isn't that what Jesus said? Yes. And he knew a lot about a lot of stuff. Yes. That is very pertinent to us today. Mm-hmm. Yes. I do know that Jesus and Holmes taught us to pray for our enemies. So I assume that you have been praying for the candidate you hope will lose the election. As I have been doing. And it has not been easy. But I have found wonderful gifts in praying for the candidate I hope will lose the election. And you notice that I am not saying the names. I'm not saying who I'm for or who I'm against, because it's the same thing. It's just flip side of the same coin. If you care passionately about the outcome of the election, I assume you have been asking what is yours to do about the election and have been doing it. Many years ago, there was this thing called the Nicaraguan Revolution. It was in the 80s. I think it was in the 80s. And I was listening to the reports of it obsessively on NPR. And really had an investment in the outcome of the Nicaraguan Revolution, because I really wanted the Nicaraguan people to be free of dictatorship, because I'm not heartless and brain dead. And I was really caught up in it. I was really caught up in this issue. And then all of a sudden one day I was listening yet again, and I thought, what are you doing here? Because you're not doing anything about the Nicaraguan Revolution. You're not going down there. You're not donating money. You're not, I wasn't bothering to pray about it. I was just obsessively worried about it. And here's the interesting thing. The person leading the revolution was Daniel Ortega, who has now, decades later, become the horrible dictator, right? So about this election, have you been obsessing about it and not doing anything about it? Like, 1, have you voted? 2, have you Have you gotten clear indication that you should do something more than vote? Have you given money? I have friends who have flown to, what do they call them? Swing states, thank you very much, to doorbell, and who have people who have been receiving postcards and sending postcards. Like, have you been doing anything about it? Or have you just been expending your energy freaking out about it? And how's that working for you? Dr. Holmes also said this on page, and this is true not only about the election, but everything else. Everything else. Everything else that has held your attention and made you miserable or made you lose your peace or distraught. You know, are you just sitting around stewing and simmering in the bad feelings? Or are you praying? Do you have a prayer partner? Are you reading uplifting literature? Are you coming to church? Are you availing yourself of the practitioners? You have the most awesome minister in New Thought in the Northwest right here. He's it. And I get around. Okay. Ernest Holmes said this on page 270 of the Science of Mind textbook. It is quite a burden lifted when we realize that we do not have to move the world. It is going to move anyway. This realization does not lessen our duty or our social obligation. It clarifies it. It enables us to do what is ours to do joyously and free from morbidity. He uses that word morbid and morbidity in the morbid mortal mind a lot. I love it. So old-fashioned, it's great. That which is ours to do as citizens of the world. When people around us lose their ever-loving minds, we have the opportunity to be centered, calm, and faithful. Yes. That's the calling for us as spiritual people. We can be the grown-ups in the room while other people lose their... Life is a banquet, and the items on the menu are both bitter and sweet. Load up your plate anyway. Get out of your idleness and step onto the play field. We have enough critics. Do we have enough players? Most poor suckers are starving to death out of fear of what unfamiliar things will taste like. We in New Thought have a path, a religion, a faith, and a walk of life. Those of you participating in CSL Tacoma also have a community, and it's a community that's dynamic and growing. It's a great time to be here. You know, spiritual communities, I have seen the empires rise and fall. You're doing this. It's good. Happy for you. My message to you today is really simple. Everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. The loving and benevolent presence back of all creation is still in charge. All is well and wonderfully well. And now I see I have enough time. I'm going to just share one more thing. This is one of those wonderful things I love. Used properly and well, every new technology can be a wonderful blessing. And all these really cool things come up on the internet that make my talks better than they would be without them. And this one is called They Were Right. So I don't even know how it came up, but here it is. Jesus was right. Religion and God are two separate things. Buddha was right. There is suffering, and we can liberate ourselves from it. Martin Luther King Jr. was right. No one is free until all of us are free. Mary Wollstonecraft, who wrote Frankenstein, was right. The beginning is always today. Friedrich Nietzsche was right. Life can be affirmed as beautiful in spite of everything. Carl Jung was right. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Kurt Cobain was right. Wanting to be someone else is a waste of who you are. Viktor Frankl was right. No one can take away your choice of attitude. Florence Nightingale was right. Live life when you have it. The Dalai Lama was right. Love and compassion are necessities. Bertrand Russell was right. Question every sacred cow. John Lennon was right. The world can be won if we all lay down our religious, tribal, and economic divisions. Charles Bukowski was right. If you're going to try, go all the way. Ralph Waldo Emerson was right. It is not the length of life, but the depth of life that matters. Seneca was right. Every day should be considered a separate lifetime. I have attained one thing. I am so grateful every day. I can't believe that you all will sit there and listen to me talk about whatever I want. I can't believe it. I am so grateful. Okay? And I love my life, and I have a rich, full life, and every day I am ready to go. I am not in a hurry to go, and every day I am ready to be dead. And that is very useful because it makes me really grateful for all of this. Okay, Audre Lorde was right. The bad news is we are socialized into a prison of our soul. The good news is we are holding the key. Thank you, Audre Lorde. Fred Rogers was right. When you're at the end of one thing, you're at the beginning of something else. There's only a couple left. Confucius was right. Move a mountain one stone at a time. Muhammad Ali, this is like enough for a whole year. Muhammad Ali was right. Impossible is just a big word thrown around as an excuse not to be powerful. Walt Whitman was right. Our lives become a beautiful poem once we dismiss everything that insults our soul. And finally, Albert Camus was right. We are the meaning makers. So I'm going to end with a prayer because that's what y'all are paying me for. Let's take a deep breath. And I invite you to just return to that gorgeous, beautiful temple of peace and joy and love and power that exists within you. And to just really delight in the place where you are at this moment of your eternal soul's journey. And know that every good thing is already right here and right now. Everything good is present. Nothing good is absent. And allow these words to be your words. I am enough right now. I have enough right now. My good is my God, and my good lives within me. I am a powerful, beloved son or daughter of the Most High. Nothing outside of me has the power to limit the brilliance that exists within me. We take this time to bless that we have an election. We bless that we have the vote. We bless that all of us have this opportunity to let our voice be heard. We bless the outcome of the election and know that it is neither person, place, or thing to our soul's unfoldment. It's just another item on the juicy banquet of life. And for this we give thanks. And so it is.
What I'm about to do, I haven't done in public for 30 years, 31 to be exact. So pray for me. When Reverend Erik said, I would love this song before the message and this song after the message, I was like, okay, let's hope that they have tracks. One of them had tracks, you already heard that. The other one did not. So I go back to my days of piano lessons. Bet y'all didn't know I played piano, did ya? It's been a long time coming.
There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden where God's grace blooms. There is a garden where everything grows, a beautiful garden where love is sown. And in this place of love and of light, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, beautiful garden, that garden is you. And in this place of light and love, you can have anything that you're dreaming of. There is a garden where dreams come true, a beautiful garden. That garden is you, a beautiful garden. That garden is you, a beautiful garden. That garden is you.
Oh. All right, Christina Brewer. Let's hear it for her. Wonderful. And our wonderful other musicians in Bill and John, who I think are going to play our prelude. Thank you, bless you, thank you. That's right, Bill and John. Bill, you did the prelude. And let's hear it for our incredible message and timely and beautiful from the amazing Erik Odel. That was wonderful. So beautiful and so spot on, man. Bless you. That was just wonderful. Everything's been great. So let's take a deep breath in and breathe that in, because that is in you as we go into this world today. So let's invite our greeters forward to take our offering, and know that the love you put in the offering is the love that expresses inside of you and goes into the world as well. So we'll say our prayer together. It's in your bulletin, and I think it's behind me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive with infinite gratitude. So it is. Right on. Beautiful work, guys. Know that what we're doing today is the change agent for the world. Your generosity, our kindness, our living into our pure potential, that's how we make a difference. Bless you and thank you.
Wow. This has been wonderful. I think I learned some new dance steps too. Anyway, I want to give you the opportunity to close your eyes one more time today and just know the truth, which is that we are the receptacles of love and peace and joy. And this is how the divine intelligence moves things through us into the world and causes that joy and wonderful love to abound. This is how we act when we know the truth. And so right here today, no matter what your healing need is, whether it is physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, I know that it is ready to move, that it is ready to move through you into the world as health and wholeness for everyone. And so I'm just so grateful, and I release this into the universal law, where I know it is done, and it is so. And so it is.
So now we're going to rise and see release and let go. Go forth, vote, and be the love and the change you wish to see in the world.